Hi guys, and welcome to my July bullet journal plan with me. So I know I'm really late to this party, but I have a whole story time to tell you right now as to why. First off, I'm starting off with my Tombow Food and Escape Pren, and I'm just keeping it very minimalistic this month. And when I say minimalistic, I mean extremely minimalistic, and here's why. Um, Lately, I've just been feeling very uninspired, especially when it comes to bullet journaling, because of like Corona and everything. Even though like we're kind of easing out of it, I've kind of been just looking at Pinterest and Instagram a lot and comparing myself to a lot of other creators. So I decided to just kind of dial my themes back a little bit and keep it really simple. Just going back to the basics. So as you'll see later on throughout this video, I keep things super minimalistic. Right now, as you can see, I'm just adding little roses to the title page. I thought it looked a little plain just having the July and the 2020 there. So to add a little bit of dimension and variety, I added these little flowers. Mind you, I'm not the best doodler in the flower department, so I made these little, like, I consider them to be roses, but I don't actually know what I drew, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I just drew these little flowers in to fill up some of the empty space with the Tombow Fudenosuke brush pen, and I think it turned out cute, so I'm happy with it. That's the title page done. Moving on to my next page. My next page here is going to be my goals page. I had to think about this one for a little bit, which is why you saw the transition there. I didn't really know how I wanted to set this one up for sure. As you can see, I didn't really plan any of these spreads in advance. I kind of just winged it as I went. So yeah, I wanted to write myself more simple goals, because what I had been finding is that I'd write myself not only these really elaborate goals, but I'd be writing like 10 or 15 different goals and putting them all in my habit tracker, and it was just too hard to keep up with them all. So I believe by the end of it, I only ended up writing down about 5 goals, which is much more manageable for me. And I selected goals that I knew I could achieve. That way I felt more of a sense of accomplishment when I did them. And I totally recommend doing that if you're kind of like me and are just kind of feeling stuck right now when it comes to bullet journaling and kind of lost that motivation. Go back, just start simple. Just keep it really minimalistic. Try not to overthink these really elaborate spreads. Just get down what you need to get down the basics, get down some basic goals, and go from there. Add more on as you go. And maybe you won't ever add more on. Maybe you'll just keep it minimalistic. There's nothing wrong with that. So I feel like I should explain my goals here a little bit. I have walk Remy every day. Remy is my dog. Track calories. I haven't been eating as healthy as I'd like to be, so I decided I wanted to try to track my calories again. I'd like to read more because I do generally like reading. I just seem to put it off because I always tell myself I don't have time for it. When I do, I can set aside 20 minutes. It's just finding that 20 minutes. Drink 72 fluid ounces a day. That's the recommended amount for females. And I really need to drink more water, so. And lastly is washing up every night. Sometimes I'm just really lazy and forget to take off my makeup, so I just forget to wash up at night. But yeah, moving on. I'm now doing my habit tracker. Same thing as the goals. I kept my habits very easy to do and also easy to track. I didn't do any elaborate tracker or anything. I just did a little, you'll see, I just wrote the habit down and then I plan to write X's as I go. Again, just drawing in like these little flowers, roses type of things, these little doodles to fill up a little bit of the empty space. And also, this is a neat trick if you kind of did what I did. So my habit tracker title was off-centered, so I offset that by putting in the flower, and I think it turned out okay. So now I'm taking my zebra mild liner in light gray, and I'm just highlighting my different habits. Also, I completely forgot to mention, even though I showed it on screen before, I am using the Statler fine liners to write with. That's that little gray pen I'm using right now. I apologize in advance as well for how I hold my pens. I realize it's not traditionally how you hold pens, that's just how I kind of grew up writing. But yeah, it kind of blocks the page, so I'm sorry if that annoys you. And for my last spread is the actual weekly spread itself. This took me the longest to do. I just did some simple calligraphy and I kind of spread them all out like so. And then you'll see this later. I go in with the fine liner and I add a little shadow, as well as go in with a white Uniball. What is the name of it? Hold on. Uniball Signo Broad, the white gel pen. And I go in and add little specks to make it, just add in a little bit more detail. And right here, I totally realized that I made a mistake and I accidentally switched the R and the U in Thursday. So don't mind that. Mistakes happen. It's okay. If you make a mistake, you can just cover it up. I was about to cover it up, but then I was just like, it's whatever. I know what I mean, so yeah, I just keep doing that. As I brought up earlier here, I'm taking the Statler fine liner and I'm just making a little, what would you call it? Just like a drop shadow, that's the word I'm looking for. I'm creating a little drop shadow on the calligraphy letters just to give it a little flair. Even though it's a minimalistic spread, I think details really matter. So I like to add little details here and there, and I think it's a nice touch. Now I'm taking the Uniball Signo Broad White Gel Pen and I'm just adding little highlights on each of the days of the week. I think it just adds a nice little effect, kind of making it pop out like little bubble letters, and I like the touch that it gives. Now with my Tombow dual brush pen in that same gray color, I'm just sketching out a little box here, and I'm going to take my Tombow Fudenosuke brush pen again, and I'm just going to write July. And since we are in week 3 of July, I know I'm super behind. I put week 3 at the bottom there too. Now to finish off this spread, I'm just putting in the days of the week next to each day. And there you have it, guys. That's my July minimalistic bullet journal set up. I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope you guys like the minimalist look. Again, if you're somebody out there who has kind of been struggling with motivation, go ahead and comment down below what your biggest struggles have been and I'll see if I can reply to them. Thank you guys for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!